Hello, everyone. I'm King of Zombies 20,
And I am Soul Saber 123.
and welcome to the second official episode of The Web. Um, I do apologize for not we haven't been able to record lately due to Soul Saber's incident. Would you like to talk about it a little bit?
Oh yeah, so here's what happened. My there was some rain and the wall went through my walls and the water went through my walls and it flooded my room.
So
I was not happy. I was not
yeah,
happy about that.
we were gonna record that day too, but because that day we both saw Venom and we were gonna talk about it, but sadly uh he couldn't because of the rainfall. So please, we do plan on talking about Venom: Let There Be Carnage later down the line, along with its end
Yeah.
credit scene, along with Shang-Chi and the Black Widow movie. All those movies will be getting their own episode or all tied in together. But today's
Yeah.
episode is gonna be, well, how should I say this? Let's ponder the question, what if we talked about it? So today's episode, I try to make it into a nice segment. Welcome to the
Yeah.
next episode, what if recap. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go one by one for each episode, talk about the best parts and the bad parts about it, rate it based on how we feel about the episode, and then overall rate the whole thing and talk about later down towards the end, talk about the ending and what we want to see for season two and what we expect or want to see. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you want to add anything on before we jump straight into it for episode one?
And yeah, then after the episode or after the our thoughts about we'll do the three little games called Villains versus Villains, Heroes versus Heroes, and the Marvel News.
And we'll explain that towards the end, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
get right into the What If series, episode one. What if Captain Carter was the first Avenger? All right, let's recap it a bit. So at the very beginning, it happens the same way as usual. The Watcher explaining that everything changes. Just one little decision can change everything. So in this episode, I was about to say Captain Carter.
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter gets gets told to go up to the balcony thing, like the
The
little top,
booth.
the booth with everyone else. But she says no, changing history for that dimension. So because of that decision, everyone else stays down there, leading the bomb explosion to happen closer to Steve Rogers, causing him to cap. Oh fuck, what was it again? I'm sorry, I don't want to try to cuss on this podcast as much.
The super soldier formula.
No, 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 no. So what happens? Oh god, what's his name? The doctor.
Oh, Dr. Eric Stein.
Yes,
Erskine.
Eric Stein dies along with Steve getting shot, leading to the whole place being burnt and everything. And the whole place is burning down. And Peggy volunteers to go in anyways because this was their one shot. And well, she gets into it, and Howard Stark powers her up and gives her the formula, and she comes out being all big and buff and chases down, the same way Captain America had did it, but now it's
Yeah.
Peggy. So from that point, do correct me when I'm wrong sometimes because like it's been a while since I did see the first episodes. Um, After
I
that,
did rewatch earlier this week.
uh, no, I haven't had a chance, but I know we get introduced into a new character because of that's correct. The general that was friends with Peggy dies in the incident as well because he
Yeah,
was close
that's
to
where
the
we get the
explosion.
new guy.
So we get a new character. I believe his name is crap. What's his name? Do you know his name by any chance?
No, I
Uh,
was not. I did not pay attention to his name.
well, he's a new person to take over General what's his name? Peggy's general in this case. I'm so sorry. It's been a while. I
I haven't
probably
seen the movie in a while.
same. But he takes the place now and makes fun of Peggy because he wants an army. He wants a man to be the super soldier, not some woman. So later,
Yeah.
so it goes through the whole process of her training. And Steve earlier when he's about to get the super soldier serum, he gets shot in the leg, making him paralyzed. Not fully paralyzed from the waist down, but weak from the waist down. So
Yeah.
Captain Carter at this point um, is at a bar drinking, and then Steve, of course, he's being what is it called, rehabilitating his lower part and everything. we move on to the
Yeah,
next transition where Peggy and Howard Stark, if I believe, are at a bar, and this is when we get introduced her to her new persona, Captain Carter. So here's a massive thing that they didn't do. They didn't make her become a propaganda like what
Captain America in his
Captain
movie.
America, which is
Yeah, because he was propaganda.
I like that. So I'm right now I have it. I'm loading it up right now, so I can I can talk about it while watching it while we say it. So
Uh,
yeah, we also meet the Red Skull again. You know, uh, not the same voice actor if I remember. They changed him completely.
yeah, no, it's it. Yeah, he plays Aaron from The Walking Dead.
Uh, so yeah, at this point, Captain Carter gets her uniform fully nice. I love the fight animation scene in this, where she's taking a couple of Germans out and everything, which is really
Yeah,
nice animation. I love the shield throws and everything. I love how you know because she's so used to like guns. She was into guns, and now she has fist to fist combat. I love how when she takes on the truck, she's like, "Wow, this is amazing," and I love that part about it.
yeah, because she was a spy. Now she's a soldier.
Yeah, so after that, they capture, I believe, Zola. Zola gets captured during this process, so he gets captured
Yes.
way earlier than intended, and he also carries the Tesseract at this time, meaning the Americans
Yeah.
in this timeline got the Tesseract very early, and then she finds out that Bucky's squad, oh God, what's Bucky's squad called again?
Oh fuck! I forgot what it's called too. Damn it!
Let me watch for a millisecond. Boop.
I forgot what's it called.
I was about to say the 501st, but that's Star Wars.
That's Star
I know
Wars.
that for a fact. Let me. Uh, I'm watching it right now. I'm so sorry, viewer. Let me watch because here we go.
What are they called?
I know they're called something. It's a battalion something that Bucky was in.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called at the
The
moment too.
107th. There we go. The
There we go.
107th.
107.
So,
Yeah.
at this point, they find out the 107th's been captured, like in the timeline with Steve Rogers. So they go save, because Captain America goes to save Bucky because at that point he's been captured. But in this timeline, since they already got everything, Bucky is already captured, not tortured like he was in Captain America: The First Avenger, since Zola never got his hands. And we do see familiar faces. We do see Dum Dum Dugan. We do see yeah, fuck. What are the rest of the names? I really don't pay attention to them. I only know Dum Dum Dugan's there.
I think Dum Dum Dugan is the only like noticeable one there.
Everyone that made an appearance from the first movie is all back. So
Yeah.
from then they're going out, they're escaping like they did in the first movie, but this time they get heavily outgunned and heavily outnumbered. And this is where we're introduced to the best part of this what if episode for episode 1 of Captain Carter.
Yeah.
The new Iron Man, Steve Rogers, the Hydra Stomper. So
Yeah, it's pretty damn cool.
So I love the design of the Hydra. That's one of the things I really like, but I'll get more into it. They recreate a lot of scenes from the escape scene as well. Captain Carter holding the gun and the pistol and the shield while everyone else is going. Um,
Yeah, that's
and
recreated.
then they're calling in for support where it says Roger out, and they're like, "What do you mean, Roger out?" And well, Steve Roger lands in the Iron Stomper and wipes out all of Hydra in that one moment. And she's like, Captain Carter, Steve, and then Bucky saying, "I think I know him. I know who's in there."
Yeah.
Dum Dum Sick says, "Hold on a second. She's friends with the Hydra Stomper. I think I'm friends with him too." And then it
Yeah.
goes on.
It's pretty funny.
I really like the design of the Hydra Stomper. That's something I can see Iron Man wielding back in World War II, honestly. And I'm so glad
Yeah,
somehow
only
somehow
because the technology they had back then.
true. But the Hydra Stomper, everything is amazing in that part. Eventually goes on to a montage of Steve and Peggy just wiping out Germans left and right. Peggy being cheered by everyone. Um, typical Captain America things. Them
Yeah.
drinking, but some callbacks to the original. But remember, Steve is skinny at this point, So and eventually they're going to the mission where Bucky dies on the train mission to capture Zola. At this point, Zola would have been on the train, but
But they prevented that.
yeah, since this in this universe they already did. So they were going for the Red Skull on this one because Red Skull was supposed to be on this train. So at this point they had the Hydra Stomper and they all landed and everything. Bucky almost falls off and he says, "Wow, you almost pulled my arm off," referring, a callback to him being as the Winter Soldier, and it's funny because it's his missing arm, you know,
Yeah, it
callbacks.
is the one.
So eventually, Steve goes down and rips the bunker open instead of finding a way in like they did last time. And since he has the Hydro Stomper, they blow up the train to prevent Steve, so they can kill him like they did to Bucky to prevent the Hydro Stomper since it was a massive threat. So at this point,
Very.
Peggy becomes depressed and everything and goes through the same situation that that Cap did. So eventually, they break into this heavily armed base, and they find out that the reason they want the Tesseract is to open a dimension portal and bring a creature in. So Red Skull succeeds in that, but doing that, he does die in his own creation, while the other
Yeah.
members of the 107th, Bucky, Dum Dum Dugan, and the rest of them, go into the castle and find out that Steve is still alive. But without the Tesseract, the armor is not powered up, so he has to charge himself up with, I believe, he charges himself with just energy from
Yeah,
around
just energies
from the
just from
building,
the
but
thing
it's not
that was
enough.
holding
But
them.
it's not enough to keep him up. So
Yeah.
we're at the end game at this for this one. They're fighting the giant tentacle creature that later down the line Doctor Strange absorbs. So
Yeah.
Peggy and everyone else is fighting it. Eventually, Steve almost fights it off, but eventually his power runs out and he can't really do much. And Captain Carter eventually forces herself to sacrifice, grabbing a sword and the shield, of course, and pushing the monster back into the dimension portal, closing it off, losing the Tesseract, and being lost in time. So we jump into the 70 years later, where Captain Carter pops out to this dimension's Nick Fury and Hawkeye, and making her the Captain America of the future.
Yeah.
And then no end credits for this one. So did I miss anything? You want to talk about anything that I might have missed or went over? Because, these are just quick
Can we talk about
recaps. Just going over a
uh
quick recap as best as possible.
so that's Shumagorath, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's Shumagorath.
Everyone predicted it, and especially since it came up multiple times in this episodes.
Yeah, and in episode 4 and a couple other times in the show.
Yeah, so and it is a big threat in the MCU. It is a magical, powerful demon. So I think it's Eternal, like the Eternals, the actual heroes that the movie we're getting soon. I believe he's also connected to them. I believe.
Yeah.
But he's mostly connected to Dormammu, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
So
that's
this is
pretty right.
confirmed,
So,
everyone. Dormammu's coming. Come on, guys. It's confirmed. Trust me, trust me. But yeah. Anything else before we rate the episode and talk about the good and bad stuff?
no, we pretty much hit all the bare bones
Massive
of the
points.
episode.
So let's talk about the good and bads first. The good things I really like about this episode is how it implements callbacks, a lot of good callbacks to Captain America:
Yeah.
The First Avenger, along with the Iron Hydra Stomper looks amazing, beautiful. I love the animation fight scenes in this one, really really good. The bad things about it, I think the voice acting is a little bit weird sometimes. I don't know why. It just feels like that
Yeah,
to me.
I mean, it can fall a little flat seeing how they got the actors to play them, which I don't mind, but
Some of the like
I don't think they're fully into it.
Bucky sounds weird and kind of looks weird in the animation sometimes.
Well,
But
it's
that
because I
is
think
but that
Sebastian Stan is playing Bucky, not
not
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
So like
Yeah,
it's weird for him to
he's
go
playing.
back. Yeah,
Yeah, it was weird for him to go back to that character because he hasn't played it in forever.
I know. Like maybe that's my only bad thing, but all the good things I really really did enjoy this episode for like the first pilot episode. I really enjoyed it. It hit it
Yeah, it
out of
was
the
a
park.
pretty good pilot.
Good, Barry hit it out of the park. I would rate this. Let's get into ratings. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. Good animation.
Solid start. Good animation. Love Peggy voices herself. The only one that didn't reprise his role, I believe, is the minor characters along with Steve himself.
Well, yeah. Red Skull and Steve, which I did like Steve's voice actor because that's
Steve's voice
Josh
actor
Keaton.
no, perfectly. It sounded a lot. I honestly believed it was actually Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
thought that was him too, but it's not.
sadly,
But
but we can't always get what
sadly,
we want. So,
no.
anyways, yeah, no, I give it an 8 out of 5. Good animation, everything was great. So
Yeah, eight
let's
out of
go.
10 too. Pretty good.
Let's go into the second episode. What if T'Challa
Oh man.
became Star Lord? That one. I really, really. Okay, so let's start from the beginning for Star Lord T'Challa. So it starts off the regular way that that Guardians of the Galaxy opens up. Starts up with T'Challa going in and breaking in and stealing the God the power stone, correct? From the same way he
Yeah,
did it, but instead of music playing in the background that we got from um from Peter Quill. It's more calm. He's more T'Challa in this universe is more cocky, but he's more professional than Star Lord. And
yeah,
so when asked, he's like, so in the original timeline, the MCU timeline, he's like, do you guys know who I am? I'm Star Lord, and he goes, Star who? Because no one knows
yeah.
who
Like
Star Lord is.
who? Yeah, no
Star
new Star
no one
Lord.
knows who Star Lord is in the MCU. But in this
Yeah,
universe, T'Challa is known around the world, galaxies. Everyone knows who T'Challa Star Lord is, and it's funny because some of
yeah,
them, the, everyone wants to be a part of T'Challa's crew because he's so good at what he does. So
yeah,
even the people that try to stop him. He's like, I don't want to punch you. Can I punch you? Like he doesn't want to disrespect him because even in space he has royalty power for some reason, which is very very funny. So
yeah.
eventually, you know, they get into the fight. Of course, he gets the Power Stone anyways, and he returns it to I believe he returns it to uh, who does he
The
give it to?
Collector.
Does he give it to the Collector? I thought he gives it a no because in this universe isn't the Collector the bad the big bad?
Oh yeah, no, he does it.
He gives it back to, I believe, I think they just sell it off, if I remember.
Yeah, they just sell it off.
I believe so. I think they sell it off to, if we made it, like the olden days, you have half your teeth. Yeah, I think they just sell it off and give it to, like, good people that really need it. I believe so. Because at this point,
Okay.
well, I'll explain later of why this is happening. We have a flashback to Wakanda that, you know, that at this point, young T'Challa wants to go out and adventure more, while his father says, no, we must stay in our own limits, our own cities, which, T'Challa doesn't like. And he does explain that even in Black Panther. So we find out the reason why T'Challa is selected and not Peter Quill this time is because since I was gonna say Antim, whatever the fucking Wolverine's thing is made out of. Vibranium was from space
Vibranium.
and hits Africa, and Wakanda's built on that. It jams the signal jammer that not the signal jammer, the signals that what is it? That
That
Hondo.
that
I was gonna say I said Hondo. What the
Yondu.
Yandu? I said Hondo. Why? It was because I thought of arrows. Um, Yandu uses to find Peter Quill in the very beginning and abduct him. But in this universe, since the vibranium signals are stronger, it leads them to you know, T'Challa, and they take him and then as in fashion of Yandu, adopts him and takes him out in space and shows him the world. We
Yeah,
find out that they go to the bar to celebrate. He's very famous. He doesn't have to hide himself or anything. And this is where we find the biggest what if change I want to say that ever happens is the mad Titan himself, Thanos, is a Ravager, a peacemaker.
he's a good guy.
He is a good guy in this universe because all that had to do was just T'Challa sitting down with the big man himself and just talking him out of like killing genocide. And the running gag is like the Mad Titans like trying to keep saying that what he did was right, but no one agrees with him, and he's like, eh, I think I had a
Yeah,
I think I had a point. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
So we meet other characters, more of the Ravengers, more of we see Drax being a bartender at this point. A funny little gag happens where, how Drax is like not known for comedy. He doesn't know that he's doing it sometimes, so he's like, look at the let's take a picture. T'Challa offers not to, but he takes a
Takes
picture
it
anyways, and
anyway.
he calls him ugly, but he's like, I'm beautiful, like, I'm the best man ever. Drax's family's still alive since the man Thanos Titan never, tried to win on his conquest because of T'Challa.
Yeah.
So thousands of lives were saved. We meet Nebula. Now Nebula doesn't have as much prosthetics along with robotics inside of her. She has the
Yeah.
hair
No.
and everything. She looks a bit. The hair thing really messes with me because I'm
Well,
used
because
to.
we saw her
I say
bald for so long.
I know it's so weird, but I love the design. It's pretty. It's okay seeing her
Yeah.
what she would look like without it. So
Yeah.
eventually, of course, Nebula calls her Chi Chi, a reference to I believe in the comics that's what's oh fuck who called him that, or is that just a what if thing? And I
Cha
think
Cha.
Cha Cha. I said Chi Chi. I don't know why Cha Cha. That's a reference to something.
Yeah.
Fuck, I know it's a reference to something.
I don't know this reference.
I looked it up, and I'm pissed because I had it down on my notepad, but I think my notepad already fucking did. Ah,
Damn.
well, we're lost forever. So, Nebula talks to T'Challa about a great not escape plan, a plan that they need to do and go into go meet the, what is his name? Oh
The
God,
Collector.
the Collector. And in this universe, since the Collector was no longer, no, Titan's no, Titan. Thanos, Jesus Christ, I'm drawing blanks now. I even have it. I'm looking at it right now. I'm literally looking at Thanos, and I'm like, what's your name again? So,
Yeah.
Since Thanos is no longer a big threat, the Collector becomes the biggest threat in the universe since he's collecting everything. So they explain that on his in the collection, the Collector's collection, there is a, not a virus, but a, what is it called? A seed plant thing. I don't remember what it's called. With the power eternity
I'm
equals.
blanking on that one.
I'm slowly watching it right now. It's called the Embers of Genesis. So with this, they're able to plant just a small bit, and it will regrow civilization and everything. It can, save dying planets, and that's what they're gonna use it for because a planet's dying, and Nebula is calling for it because she needs a favor. So, but the only way to get it is from the Collector himself. So they hatch a plan. No one agrees with them. Yondu doesn't even agree with T'Challa, but eventually T'Challa, being T'Challa, says, we are Ravengers. Um, we steal from the rich. We give to the poor. We save as much people as we can. Yondu says is a big
Yes.
suicide mission, but T'Challa says, isn't that everything we do technically? So they all agree when they go with it. So they hatch the plan. We see everyone familiar faces from Guardians of the Galaxy, even including the Thanos's older party, which is I was gonna say, what are their names again?
Oh, Taserface.
Not Taserface. Thanos's crew from Infinity War.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have their names right here. There's Corvus Glaive, Premix of Midnight, Clovis, Co-Obsidian, Ebony Maw.
Yes, they all make a return. Now they're under the control of. I had to take a sip of water. I'm dehydrating. You talk from here.
Uh, Shit. Where were you at?
Talking about they're about to break into the what's it called, collector's vault. They're barely like, because remember
Yeah.
they're
So they make a distraction to fight with the Black Order. They get distracted by them, and then T'Challa. What happened to T'Challa?
T'Challa hides in a box, but they couldn't get
Yeah.
past the scanning because they needed the distraction. So with that, they go in, and eventually T'Challa can't find his way around. So we meet Howard the Duck, which God, I just love how Howard the Duck is always like somehow making an appearance in any MCU at this point.
Yeah.
So with that, we find out that Howard the Duck is there. He leads T'Challa out because T'Challa can't figure his way out. The Black Order defeats the other Ravengers, and at this point, we find out that Nebula has double crossed T'Challa putting everyone in prison. But before that happens, I missed the scene. T'Challa goes around to find the thing because Howard the Duck was stopped for a martini break. But as he goes into the ship area and everything, we get the famous Black Panther, music. We have the music coming out I don't know how to really describe it, but we all know what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And
He
the
finds his
the drum
ship.
beat the drum beatings and everything. He finds his ship due to his necklace, and he finds out that someone eventually, his father sent people into space, Wakandan warriors, to go and try to find T'Challa, but eventually no one does, and Yondu knows this. So when they're in prison, he gets captured and everything. Nebula betrays them, and he has a big confrontation with Yondu because he knew the truth this whole time, that they were hiding. People were looking for him, and that his family really did want to find him. So that happens,
Yeah.
but Yondu being Yondu, he says, you're literally my son. I raised you from the beginning. I gave you the opportunity no one else could, and they come to an understanding. And Nebula comes out, and I believe she kills. Does she kill Glaive? I believe. No, she doesn't. Not yet.
Yes.
Yes, she does, but that's later down the line.
Yeah.
T'Challa gets put into a collecting box and becomes the main prize for the collector because he's famous around the world. So yeah, yeah, no, 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 yeah. She goes back. Yeah, there he is. So he gets collected. Everyone's watching Ebony Maw and everyone's looking. He's just talking to the collector. While at the same time, I believe Nebula goes back to confront everyone else. Taserface, Yondu, Thanos, and everyone says you betrayed us. You know, but this was all their big plan. So during the bar scene back then, they were talking about how she was gonna betray him, betray them. The big agent spy thing. How it is like
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
it
betray
was
you,
really
but
the.
secretly I'm not betraying you, but I'm gonna betray you anyways. You know,
Yes.
so they explain that's always been the plan, and they have the power, the Genesis. So the big fight scene happens with what is it called? Black Panther coming out, Star Lord breaking out and everything, and what is his name? What's Squidward's name in this in again?
Oh, it's Ebony Maw.
Yeah, Ebony Maw, gets shot from the secretary or the assistant of the collector, the pink one. Uh, Approximately midnight calls out for everyone to hunt down T'Challa and that the place is getting down. And as they're trying to escape, it is just T'Challa by himself at this moment, while everyone else is running out into the streets. Because approximately midnight and everyone else is hunting down the rest of them. And right here, T'Challa gets punched by rest in peace Korg in this universe. Korg, his hand.
Poor Korg.
Korg, he's gone in this one. Uh,
Yeah.
he's killed Korg. God, I don't know how you did that. Does that mean he hollowed out the arm too and everything?
Yeah. He killed him and hauled out the arm and took it for himself.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I love what he says. He's like, I got this off of Chatty. God, what is the name of their race again?
I don't remember right now.
I'm watching it right here. Approximately midnight, escapes all units to Sector 7. He's running. He gets punched. What kind of being late on the party? What's saying goodbye? Something tells me it happened to you a lot. Watching it right now. Slowly, 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 slowly.
Mm.
Pretty quite a Walpole. I hacked it off the carcass of a trouble chatty Cronin. Cronin?
Oh, Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It is Cronin. Yeah, I just
Cronin.
remembered it is Cronin. Yeah.
So that happens, and eventually he opens his secret vault of all weapons. So while I'm watching it, let's call out the weapons. He has a dark elf knife,
Captain America shield.
Captain America shield, Thor's hammer. Um, what else does he have?
Hela's headdress.
Hela's
Like knife.
headdress.
Like
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think those are the main MCU things that he has.
Did he kill them?
I don't know. How would he have gotten Hela's that a lot of there's a lot of things that I'll talk about that later. Some of it
Yeah,
doesn't really make
we'll
sense,
discuss it.
but I love how he reenacts Hela's like putting on the helmet and taking it off, and then you know combing back her hair to activate the helmet and all the powers. So I love that.
Yeah,
So T'Challa gets stabbed. They're having a epic fight scene. Taserface and everyone else is still running from all of the Collector's men, and eventually Thanos himself holds himself back. And I love the line was like, "You have to be mad," and he looks back at them. He's like, "That's why I'm the Mad Titan," and he stays back and
yeah,
fights them all. I love that. He says, "Are you crazy? You're never gonna take them all. Not crazy."
I'm mad.
Mad. Incredible Hulk be like, that's my line. So he fights out. I was gonna say Korg, the big guy as well. He fights off all of them at this point. Approximately midnight, everyone, and he's almost left for dead. But Nebula and everyone else go back and save Thanos before then. While they do that, they also activate the plant to what is it called, to regrow. And this is all on the God. What is the Skull Planet? God, what is it called again?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. I was about to say, are you sure it's called Nowhere? But it's
Yeah,
called
no, it
Nowhere.
is. It is nowhere.
Yeah. So
It just spelled it.
Yondu goes back and helps T'Challa with his arrow fighting off the Collector, but Collector does snap his arrow, destroying it. Sadly, rip the arrow. F in the comments below.
Damn.
But they activate the power. The seed starts regrowing everything back on Nowhere. T'Challa and Yondu keep fighting Collector, but eventually, ugh, I'm gonna stretch for a bit. Yondu gets beat really bad, and Yondu steals the gauntlet from Collector that activates everything. Um, T'Challa kicks him into his own collecting like vault thing, his own little
Yeah,
cage.
collection
While
box.
that happens, they release everyone else around him, and well, that's the end of the Collector. Everyone lives a happy life. Space Dog comes back.
Cosmo.
Cosmo is also in this episode. They keep him around, and just to wrap up the episode, they just talk about the way of life and everything. Practically talking about the vast galaxy and everything. Yondu and him, and they go
Yeah.
back to Wakanda, and that's pretty much the end of the episode. He gets reintroduced to his family. He's accepted there. Everyone. He becomes Prince of Wakanda once again, while being space. And Thanos is flirting with everyone again, telling him that what he did was right, and that that balancing half the life is pretty okay.
It sounds
But
like a Genesis.
it's kind of like genocide, but it's kind of good. So but for the end of this episode, we get to see Peter Quill still at the Dairy Queen because that was his job at the time, and we see God, Peter's father, God, what is his name
Ego.
again? Ego, the Living Planet, but Ego in his human form, come down. And if you don't remember in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, um, Ego went and populated a lot of people to have offspring, and was waiting for one of them to have what was
His
it?
powers.
His powers, so he can collect their powers and even become more powerful. And the only one who was able to was Peter Quill because he was the last remaining one. Everyone else had already died or already got absorbed. So,
Yes.
but since he never became Star Lord and he grew up in on Earth and everything, he was easier to find. And it even ends with, "What's the matter, Peter? Can't spare a little time to with dear old dad." And it ends with that and Peter being, absolutely fucked at that point because he's not a hero at all or anything. He's just
Yeah, no.
he's just
A
Peter
normal
Quill.
guy.
So let's talk about the good and the bad. I really love T'Challa's acting in this, from going from a kind prince that knows his ways of Wakanda and like peaceful and everything, to like a cocky man that says, "We are Ravengers. We do what we can. We do for the better." While his counterpart, his Black Panther counterpart, is more calm, chill, stealth. This one goes in loud if he has to. Very nice. I really
Yes.
like that. I like how he's able to play two different practically roles, but still the same character.
Yeah.
The big shocker, Thanos was a peacemaker this whole time, which made me laugh, honestly.
Never thought that would happen.
Honestly, I never, in 1,000 years, even in the comics, every time they try to make Thanos good, he literally says nah and snaps out of it or kills anyone. It's funny.
Yeah, no.
But I want to say those are my good points. I love how dark the ending was too, because these are what ifs. These aren't like supposed to be happy endings. Captain
Yeah,
Carter,
no.
sad ending. She's alone in the future without Steve. Uh, Peter Quill gets to meet his father Ego, but we know he's gonna die at that point.
Yeah.
And um, and the bad things about this episode, I want to say it was. I can't. The voice acting was
Uh
on point. Everything was on point. I want to say nothing
yeah,
bad.
I don't think there anything was bad about this episode, to be
I would say
honest.
the only bad thing is like Nebula's design. I don't know why. I don't like it. I don't like Nebula's design. I don't
I
know
They just
why.
gave her hair, that's all it
Or like
is.
that's the thing too, but I don't know why. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't.
Uh,
But
would it work any other color besides blonde?
probably. I don't know why. It like maybe just keep her bald. But like
Yeah,
without
it
the
is.
robotic pieces. You know what I mean?
To be fair, she's not bald in the comics either.
Yeah.
It was only bald for MCU.
Well, yeah, I'm so used to her MCU design. That's why. So like, it's very weird to
Yeah.
see her without like her robotic parts. I'm okay without seeing because like in this timeline she doesn't get to be tortured by Thanos. But like
Yeah, no.
the hair is like okay, like yeah, it's pretty okay.
Yeah.
But I'll rate this one 7 out of 10. Good animation, good fight scenes
Oh,
all over.
really?
Well, it
I
wasn't
was gonna give I
okay.
was gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
Because it's a second episode, right? But like it's not that
Right.
intriguing. It's like it's really good for Star Lord, but I wouldn't say like it's my favorite out of all of them.
Uh,
So I want to give it a 7 out of 10 to be honest with you. Very very good episode, but it's like it kept me entertained. But would I go back and rewatch it multiple times? I don't know. You know,
right.
it's like a heist one, and I'm not really into like heist things like that.
Mm,
So I give it a 7 out of 10. But on to the next what if episode. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? So the concept of this one is, um, what if the Avengers died way before the Avengers Initiative even happens? So
yeah.
we start off with what is it? With Nick Fury talking to Natasha, going to talk to Tony Stark. It's a callback to Iron Man 2 when he's infected by his own, I believe, his virus that's killing him slowly
Yes.
because of the arc reactor. So
Yeah.
it's a callback to everything. Tony says, "I don't want to join your superhero boy band and everything." And as of course in the movie, he gets injected with a antidote to prevent it from spreading anymore. In the movie, it succeeds and knocks him back up. But in this universe, Natasha injects it into his body like he does, and was about to say what was in it and what it does, but he ends up dying instead, and Natasha is charged with murder of Tony Stark. When we find out that that happened, it goes through the Iron Man story time, and it goes through what happened. Then it goes on to Tuesday. This is recapping Nick Fury's big week, as it's called, because
Yeah.
Avengers,
Because all the movies were happening in 1 week.
yeah, Thor, Iron Man 2,
And Hulk.
and Hulk were all happening at the same time, and this was Nick Fury's big week. So Natasha gets transported out because of the murder of what is it called, of Iron Man, and we get to see familiar faces from Shield, well, Hydra agents technically that are still
Yeah.
acting as Shield. We see
Crossbow makes his return.
Crossbone, everyone that you see in Captain America, everyone. Natasha breaks out. I really like Natasha's escape scene where she just like, here, hold these, and just beats the crap out of everyone as she escapes. That
Yeah.
was funny to me. I laughed. But we continue on to the next scene. He gets mad. We go back to New Mexico where Thor's hammer has landed because Odin threw it. And it happens the same way as usual. Hawkeye and everyone saying that no one's there, nothing has happened, and that someone is knocking out the guards. Um, Coulson describes him as a Caucasian male, mid 20s with sexy hair, literally calling Thor sexy as hell. So we get the
He's not
same.
wrong.
We no, not wrong. Even in animation version, it was his hair and everything. Beautiful. Amazing. I loved everything about it. uh, but we get the same scene of Thor about to lift it and everything. Everything's going to hand. Hawkeye, about to shoot Thor, but in the main MCU timeline, in Thor, he never pulls the bow because he's been told not to see what happens.
Yeah.
But in this universe, um, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, does fire the bow, killing Thor in one shot, which I think is, a little incorrect.
I mean, he is human at this point, and from the range and the velocity and the speed and where it hit him, I think he definitely would have
It
killed him
would
in
have been
one
a kill
shot.
shot, but like you okay, maybe you're right. Some things don't make sense, but I want to talk about that towards the end and just like go out
Okay.
because we are going we are we're almost it's almost about to be an hour, so I do want to just recap it as best as possible and then talk about it. We might do the good and bad later and just recap it and just rate it,
Okay.
so we can get some time. So Clint gets towed and he gets secured into his own area and been told that you know, that he's gonna be there. They did all test on him, but everything came clear. Clint saying that he never messes up this bad. He can never mess up this bad. And then we find out that after leaving him for a couple seconds, that Clint died. In the cell, there was cameras, everything. No one went in, no one went out, and they find out that Clint's dead. So they checked out Thor's body. He smells like lavender for some reason. Um, Coulson watching both. Natasha at this point is on the run from Shield and the government again, like she was in Infinity War, and she meets up with Dr. Ross, aka what is her name again?
Betty Ross.
Betty Ross. There we go. The daughter of General Ross from you know the MCU.
Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. So we go back to Incredible Hulk this time. Now instead of the previous actor that played Bruce Banner in this timeline, it is Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner. So
Yeah, they combined Mark Ruffalo and the other guy into like this like one weird
like
person,
amalgamation.
like
Yeah.
amalgamation.
So we get the same scenes again from the Incredible Hulk. The big scene where Hulk is in the like college like wing side, and they flood the room with gas and he becomes the Incredible Hulk. But this time Natasha's there. Um, I'm watching as best as I can. Actually, before that, I'm sorry, but while this is happening at the same time, Loki invades with an army of Asgardians because at this time Odin is asleep,
That's
and
right. I
and
forgot
since
about that.
Thor is dead, Loki's the head of this now. So he comes back and you know he's um he's pissed that Loki Thor died, acting like he died, you know
Yeah,
pretending because they don't like each other. So
yeah.
we get a funny gag where Natasha's calling Fury while Loki's talking, and he says, "You gotta answer that. This is very rude." And he's like, "Give a sec." He answers, and someone's coming for Natasha as well as Bruce. Someone's been hunting them down. So while this happens, Bruce Bruce gets sniped from the far back, and even General Ross says, "Who shot that?" And all the troops are saying, "We don't know." And this pisses off Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, becoming the Hulk. Um, Natasha running like she usually does, getting out of the situation. Hulk fucking up everyone completely, and then the big thing happens. Bruce fucking blows up from the
Yeah,
inside
he, he
out.
he
He,
puffed up like a balloon.
he puffed up like a balloon and he burst in a green mist. So
Yeah.
Bruce Banner dies. Natasha doesn't understand who. Ross does. No one understands how that happened. So Natasha goes and logs in looking for a murderer. She goes into Coulson's database because she no longer has what is it called, access to
Shield
Shield's
access.
archives. So I love Coulson's password. Hashtag
Password
Steve Steve
Steve.
Steve. I heart Steve's 0704.
Yeah.
I love that so much. We find out that someone had logged into the database yesterday into someone to what is it called, Janet Van Dyne's account, but she's been dead this whole time because everything happens like it did in the MCU. just slightly, the Avengers are dying. Mainly, that's the big change. And she gets her ass beat by something. We don't know who it is until we hear it's Hope. It's only Hope. It's all been Hope. And
Yeah.
Nick Fury, Coulson says, "Do you know what this is?" And he says, "I haven't forgotten." And he talks about the speech that he's been planning, which was the Avengers Initiative speech, where he said, his big speech, where he tells everyone, is like, there was an idea to get, his big speech. Everyone's heard the speech at this point.
There was an idea.
Yeah. And then Coulson was about to call Captain Marvel, but he says, "Nah," because he doesn't need her at this time. So he chucks it back in, and he goes to meet Loki and propose something. So we go to a graveyard and we see Hope Van Dyne, beloved daughter, agent of Shield. So in this universe, Hope Van Dyne became a Shield agent along with her mother. Um,
Yes.
so that's a big change as well. And then we see Hank Hank Pym show up, but I love how they introduce him. He says, "You had the balls to come here and stand over her grave." And we see in the yellow jacket uniform for the first time
Yeah.
his yellow jacket. So originally in the comics he was Ant-Man, but eventually once he lost, he didn't lose it. He gave the mantle up and became Yellow Jacket. So in this universe
Yeah.
he's the Yellow Jacket, I believe, but I think he still goes by Ant-Man. He's pissed off at Nick Fury because you let him die, and I love the detail in him. He looks older, more raggedy, the purple under his eyes, like a man who,
Crazy.
like literally
Lost
crazy.
everything.
And if you have to remember, in the MCU and Pym particles themselves, the more usage you use them over time, you know, they will have wear and tear on your body. Even Hank Pym says in the first Ant-Man that if he kept using them, he might have gone crazy and worse, which does happen in the comics. That leads to
Uh,
the in the comics it leads to the scene of Hank Pym slapping Janet Van Dyne because the pain particles are getting to him. That's why he gives up the
yeah.
mantle and then becomes Jack. Um, oh God, what was it called again?
Ant-Man?
Yellow Jacket. No, he becomes
Yellow
Yellow
Jacket.
Jacket for
Yellow
that
Jacket.
reason. So
Yeah.
So that's why he looks like this. Many people are like, why does he look more older than he does in the MCU? Well, because of the wear and tear of the Hank at the Pym particles, because it is doing wear and
Yes.
tear. And since at this time he only wants revenge, um, he never looks for a replacement for him. He never has to, find someone else except his daughter, because at this point, Janet Van Dyne and Hope Van Dyne are dead. So he becomes Yellow Jacket and everything. So we find out that how he did everything. He triggered Clint's bow by hitting his finger. Uh, for Hulk, I believe he was shot with the sniper bullet and entered his body
Yeah.
system and grew his heart even bigger. He was in the
Yes.
shot for Tony Stark, so when it went into Tony's neck, I believe he just did something to his blood, I believe, or
Yeah.
something
And
like
then
that.
for Hawkeye, he just goes into his body and just kills him from the inside.
Yeah, he just goes through his ear, snapping a brain or something, I believe. And then
Yeah.
we get this fight scene with Nick Fury dodging all of Hank Pym's moves. I was really like confused because I was like, how is he doing that? Like those are good reflexes.
But then,
But eventually we find out that that's not actually Nick Fury. Because they're all laughing at him. This is something Nick Fury would never do, and there's multiple Nick Furies. So I thought this was just Loki doing magic for Nick Fury, but we find out entirely that it was just Loki, and his face is weird. I don't know why Loki looks weird. I don't know why. He just looks weird to me. But we find out that Loki was Nick Fury this whole entire time, talking to him, messing with the Yellow Jackets. So, and this is all going through a week, so they capture Hank Pym and everything. And then Friday comes, and Loki declares that he's taken over Earth. And since no heroes are available at this time, um, Loki and Asgard take over Earth, and we get a sad scene of Nick Fury going past all of the Avengers the coffins,
Graves.
each one
Yeah,
with their
coffins.
symbols. I don't know how they would have a Thor one at this time, but like I said, you know, let them be. We go over Hawkeye, Thor, Captain, everyone else. But you have to remember Captain America hasn't been dug up yet, which they do explain at the end with Nick Fury going to get Captain, and we get a call back to them removing the eye, showing the shield. We hear "Welcome back, Captain," thinking he's talking about Captain America, but we find out that he did page uh, Miss Marvel. Um, what is her name? Cause I
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, I don't like her at all. So like she's like I'm draw blanks with her no matter what.
Uh,
Captain Marvel comes down, and it leads to them becoming the new Avengers, Captain America and Captain Marvel. At this time, I think those are the only two standing, I believe, because everyone else is considered dead or hasn't got their powers yet. Because Wanda wouldn't exist at
yeah,
this time. Who else wouldn't exist at this time? Spider-Man was still a kid at this time.
yeah. He's in Captain America's not gonna get a kid. He's not gonna get a kid to serve the Avengers.
So,
I wonder
uh,
who would have been on the roster in that universe actually.
same here. Maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe?
It doesn't seem like their shtick unless they want to hire them.
Probably. But yeah. What if the world's lost its mightiest heroes? I would give it a. I want to say 7. I would say 7 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I did like the
It,
murder
it, I,
mystery.
I like the murder mystery thing. I really like mysteries. I loved how it was Hank Pym all this time. You know, a
But
lot of
the
plot holes.
little
A lot of plot holes, just like um, T'Challa
uh
becoming Star Lord. But all of these episodes have plot holes if you really look into it. But it's a what if. What if this
yeah,
happened? You
so
can't really predict everything. So I am cutting it some slack. No, the animation was okay. I would say there's things I did. Loki's face looked weird, especially when he was laughing and like he like grins. It looks very weird to me. Um,
I mean that might be because it's just based off from Tom Hiddleston's Loki design, so it might look a little off at
yeah,
times because that's just what Tom Hiddleston just looks like.
probably. But I would rate this 7 out of 10. Love the murder mystery aspect of it, and I love how Tony dies, and that's a recurring trend during this What If series,
Yeah,
which is
four
very funny.
times.
Tony. But yeah, you want to say anything about this episode?
It's pretty good episode 10 out of 10. Little fun fact I didn't know about this.
10 out of 10, you said?
They didn't. No, 7 out of 10.
Oh, I heard 10 out of 10. I was like, oh,
No, 7 out of 10. Little fun fact. They didn't reveal. You know how at the credits they reveal, like at the beginning, they show everyone's name.
yeah.
They didn't show one for Yellow Jacket. It's just he just wasn't in that beginning of the title screen. It wasn't until the end. They're like, oh, it was him.
Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that. Or if we're
Yeah,
getting,
I didn't know that either.
well, if we're getting fun facts, here's a fun fact for T'Challa Star-Lord, which is a sad like fun fact. Um, T'Challa Star-Lord, Disney was gonna give a go-ahead on a T'Challa Star-Lord spin-off series, fully animated, everything like the What If series, and he was gonna get his own full series as T'Challa Star-Lord. But due to the passing of Chadwick Boseman, my respects go out to his family and everything. The idea couldn't come to fruition.
Fruition.
Yeah, so that's very sad. It would have been an amazing series. You know, I love the
Yeah,
character
especially.
overall, and especially the animation really looks good. It reminds me of the Iron Man from 2009, I believe, that animated series where it's a young
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Yes.
So, there's a sad fun fact for you. But
Yeah, but
on
yeah, it's good episode 10.
a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, I would say this is one of my favorite episodes. The next one, episode
Oh
four.
man.
What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? I really, really like this episode. It is Doctor Strange reprising his role. It is I was guess a I cannot pronounce his name because I always butcher it.
Oh,
So like,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
yes, I can't say his name. So it starts off
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. There we go. So
There you
it
go.
starts off with Doctor Strange meeting with his lover. So in this universe, he is lovers with Doctor Palsy,
Christine.
Palsy. Is that the name?
Yeah, Palmer. Christine Palmer.
Christine Palmer. So in this universe, they are officially dating. They are together, and they're going to the award ceremony, which he was going to in Doctor Strange in his movie. So the same scenes happen. Palmer is asking Doctor Strange what's his big speech thing's gonna happen, and he says, "I really don't have one." And when he does say his speech, he's like, "Wow, that's really bad. You know, lighting up the area. Don't be so serious. It's a night for partying and celebration because you did a thing that no one else could." So same sequence happens. They're just driving. Doctor Strange goes over a truck to go into the next lane, and he's about to get hit by a car, but he manages to dodge it. So that's a complete almost difference from Doctor Strange, I believe. But he gets rear-ended in the back, causing him to crash. So the same sequence, frame by frame, perfectly everything that happened in Doctor Strange happens here. He hits the right spots like he did in the movie, and the same way he happens, he hits the gate, and the front part of the car goes in, hits the water. But instead of him being unconscious and looking at his messed up hands, we see that Christine is now dead, and the glass, broken and shattering, and a heart shaped in a heart, representing that his heart is now cracked and lost.
I didn't
So
notice that.
yeah, it's kind of like shaped like it, so that's what I think, like representing that. So in this universe, Christine dies, but he keeps his hands. So the funeral happens and everything. So because of the death of Christine, Strange sought answers to see if he can figure out to save Christine. And well, he goes on the same journey and runs into the mystic arts like he did last time. But instead of broken hands, he has his full hands, so he's able to do more magic and find out more things, and is capable of doing the magic faster. He finds the
Yeah,
Eye of Agamotto. He does figures out the alternation of timelines. He does the apple bit again, where he makes it disappear from eating into non-eating. Wong and everyone else comes up and tells him, this is this can threaten reality and everything if done wrong. So the Ancient One dies again. Stephen Strange, does what he does in every universe. He talks to Dormammu, keeps him locked into a time loop, and he comes to bargain with Dormammu for the longest time. You know, and eventually, after all that is done, Stephen Strange is looking at it. He's just having a rainy night, drinking some whiskey, and he thinks about Christine, and he has the Eye of Agamotto. Wong comes over and tells him, "I'm gonna make some tea. You should come over here before something stupid happens." And Strange
yeah.
says, "You know what? Nah." So he goes fully back in time to the night of Christine's death, and this is sad. I This is so sad. He it's just a full montage, of Doctor Strange trying to prevent Christine's death. Each one, each one better than the last. Same crash sequence. He takes it slower, but she dies either way. Um, he offers to just go pizza. She dies either way. He takes a different route. She dies either way. Gets sad.
Eyes their way.
What else? He doesn't even pick her up, and she stays at a hotel and gets killed no matter
It
what.
gets bombed.
She gets bombed. They go to the dance, dude, and she has a heart attack and dies.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's
Like it's ending.
bad.
Like he tried everything to save her, but he can't.
And then when she gets go out for pizza, and she gets mugged and shot and dies.
Yeah,
Tire blows out, gets rear-ended again, keeps crashing and dying in the same location. It it
she
is
drives the last time, or she drives him
she
this time. She dies regardless.
regardless doesn't even get picked up, bombed. Like it is sad. It's just
Like,
it it is sad. And then
yeah,
the ancient one comes and finds Doctor Strange, telling and this at this point Doctor Strange is in the past, but this past version of the ancient one comes to talk to future slash past Doctor Strange to tell
yes,
him, I know what you're gonna do. You shouldn't do this. You know what you're about to do can cause a time paradox and can lead to the destruction of this world. because her death is an absolute point. So we find out that there are things called absolute points in the MCU timeline, so that these deaths and things must occur no matter what. Meaning, no matter what in any universe in any timeline, this character must die. This person must die. Bucky Barnes must become the Winter Soldier. Iron Man must die in Infinity War in an Endgame. You know, these points always happen. So in this timeline,
Yeah.
Christine's death is automatically supposed to happen, and it always will happen, no matter how much you try to change. So Doctor Strange doesn't accept that reality, and he because in this reality he must always become the protector, the Sorcerer Supreme, and protect the Eye of Agamotto, leading into the events that we see in the MCU. That he must become this, and no matter what. So he can't accept that, and what is called the Ancient One tells him that what you're about to do will lead to a very dark path and the destruction of this world. Like I said, eventually he doesn't listen, so he does fight, and the Ancient One shoots a beam at him. And well, before while he's doing that, he is activating his Eye of Agamotto to go back to some time. So he goes all the way back in time to the lost city, the lost library of what is it called?
Cagliostro.
I'm trying to Cagliostro.
Cagliostro.
So he goes all the way back in time just for that, because at that he read in a book that that's where the city, since that city was lost, it might have the information for absolute points. So he goes in and he does his thing. He meets Sorcerer Cagliostro himself, but
Yeah.
we're not told it's Cagliostro until later down the line, because magic wizards are like, I might not be the person you're looking for, but maybe I am.
Yeah.
And then we find out that his name is Sorcerer. What is it called?
Oben.
Oben. Yeah, the name's Oben, librarian for the Book of Cagliostro. So this is Oben, but it is slightly hinted, I believe, that he is Cagliostro himself. I believe. I think it's hinted
Yeah.
towards that. So we find out that I was gonna say Oben asks, "What are you gonna do here? What is your main objective?" And he says, "I'm here just to look up some knowledge and everything." And he says, "How long are you gonna be here?" Doctor Strange says, "As long as it takes." So he goes through every book as possible. To gain the power through the absorption of the beatings, you might be able to break an absolute point. So we get a montage of Doctor Strange um, trying to absorb some monsters. But the first monster he summons is the Kraken-like thing from the first episode of What If, where Peggy Carter becomes Captain America. It's the same monster and everything, same detail, same everything. But
Yeah.
he fails to do it, and he gets injured. And Oben um, tells him that a man does not suffer like this for his own glory, because he knows that he's not doing this for himself. He's doing it for someone else. And he lays some words down that there's a fine line between devotion and delusion, stating that what devotion is, what you're trying to do for the better, and delusion is that you're not going to come to terms with what's happening no matter what you do. So Doctor Strange heals. He does the whole ritual thing again. He goes through different monsters, gnomes, deers. Uh, he does not kill. He does not absorb a beetle, but he does take that version of the Cape of Levitation's that version of the Cape of Levitation, a really dark,
Yeah.
gritty one. He's more outfitted with a darker what is it called outfit than he usually is. He sucks in a bird, demons left and right,
Dragons.
deers, dragons, snake demons, and then he goes against the Kraken one last time when he's almost at his final form, and he cuts off arms and sends it all back and just absorbs the arms itself, because the arms itself has power. He goes back to Oben because he wants to ask if you think he's ready and everything, and he finds out that Oben is actually dying, and Oben tells him, "No, this is the way of life. Put it away. You use your magic to remain frozen for centuries. I chose to live my life while you chose to preserve this." And then Doctor Strange offers him, "I can make you live longer, forever, if possible. I have so much power." And he's like, "Hush. Even in our worlds, you know, death is a part of the plan, no matter what. You know, and death being death. Doctor Strange being Doctor Strange at this point, saying it. but it can always change. It's not. I can't accept that. And
Yeah.
Obin says, I know. That's why you're here to begin with. So Obin dies, and then a different Doctor Strange in the same universe goes with Wong instead of having the dramatic breakdown and deciding to go back in time. So he puts the Air of
Yeah.
Agamotto down, decides to listen to Wong because Wong is always right, and we find out in the morning, the world is fading away like this inkish blackish goo. And I love how Rocksteady pointed this out. It's kind of like the ink of a comic book fading away, going back
Oh
to its
yeah, it is.
original, going back to its original what's it called, aesthetic, its original ideas. So we meet the ancient one, but this is in the future where she's already dead. So it's like a force ghost version of her, I would like to say,
Yeah.
of her. And the ancient one explains that that her that another Doctor Strange's ego was so massive, everything trying to reverse back time. So what she did was she drew power from the dark dimension and split the timelines into two, into this universe of this main timeline. So there are two timelines happening at once, but since two timelines are happening at once, one timeline's gonna kill the other if things are not set out straight. So Strange says, I had to fight an evil twin of me. And she says, uh, yeah. And then she's like, maybe if I don't do it, do you think Christine could be saved? The Ancient One says, you cannot save her, Stephen. Neither of you can, no matter how much power you both have. The fear only sorcerer strong enough to stop Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange. So, Wong and Strange figure out a plan to how to do this. Um, Strange and everyone, Wong enchants Strange with a protection spell, a very heavy protection spell, and at this point, a portal's opened right
Vishanti.
under the Vajanti spell. There it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Vajanti's protection spell. A portal opens up under Doctor Strange. He gets sucked in, and he meets. We see um the Strange Supreme. So this version of Doctor Strange is more powerful than this version of the MCU version because he absorbed so much. He's so powerful that he even acknowledged Vision, not Vision, the Watcher himself. Did he see the Watcher? No, but he could already hear him because he's that
Yeah.
powerful. So he talks to him saying that if we combine together, we can break this absolute point and bring back what is her name?
Christine.
Christine and everything. So they go back to the point where she died. He keeps trying to bring keep telling the good version of Doctor Strange that we can save her, and Doctor Strange says we cannot save Christine. If we save her, this world will destroy itself from the inside out. And Supreme Doctor Strange says, no, we can fix it. I just need you to merge with me. I will be whole again. And an epic fight scene happens. He tries to absorb him first, but Doctor Strange has a protection, Shanti's protection spell, so it doesn't work out. Doctor Strange keeps saying she's dead. We have to move on. An epic fight scene happens. Um, they're pulling out spells left and right. I believe what
A
else?
damn good scene.
It's a really good scene. I love the magic and I love everything. I love how they use like the art style from the comics for especially magic. Cosmic magic is everything as well, like the black
Yeah.
bubbles around it. It's really nice. Really nice. I think it's Jack Kirby's. No, it's not Jack Kirby's design. It's someone else's who made the internals and cosmic things like that. I forgot the names.
Mm.
But eventually Doctor Strange believes he wins, but he doesn't, and he has a vision of Christine again. This is the good Doctor Strange this time, and he says, "No, you're dead. I can't. This can't be happening." He falls. Um, we do lose the cape of levitation to Doctor Supreme Strange. He does kill the cape. Sadly, F in the comments.
Or
Um,
Cape.
for F the cape. So eventually Doctor Strange does get absorbed, and he uses the time stone. He uses everything to bring Christine back, but he's in this monstrous form. He had all the demons and like monsters he has absorbed. He's that massive like form, telling her, I saved you, everything's fine. Christine's shocked and scared, and eventually we see Christine fading away into this black goop, and we see the border of his world collapsing. Like, the ink of this world is just going and fading away and everything, right? Like the comic itself is being undone,
Yes.
which I
Yeah.
really like. And it's just him. And then I love this scene. I love this scene so much of Doctor Strange just going no and giving his full power to prevent from the death of his world. And he's
Yeah.
just screaming. And eventually, he's like, please. Eventually he can finally see and talk to the Watcher himself. He's like, please save. Can you fix this the same way and then the Watcher saying the same way you fixed Christine. And he says, "What?" And he's like, Doctor Strange says, "I was wrong, the Watcher. You were warned. I know, but help me. You know, this the world shouldn't pay for my arrogance." I really love this scene of their conversation. I read about you, sensed your presence. You're a god. You can undo all of this. I am not a god, and neither are you, Strange. Watcher telling him that. Then punish me, punish not the world, not Christine. And because these are the final moments of this world. And then the Watcher says, honestly, if I could fix this, if I could punish you instead, I would. But he took an oath. He says, but I cannot interfere, would not interfere. No, you more than that. He tells him that you yourself know this for a fact, since you read up on me. Meddling with time and events are only leads to more destruction and will lead to the destruction of your world. And eventually he fades back out into, like what is it called, like his Watcher place thing. And you
Yeah.
know the world the world falls. He crystallizes himself, and what is it called, Christine, in a little like purple glass. But Christine eventually fades away due to it all happening, because you know he fucked up. He messed with an absolute point. So
Yeah.
that episode ends with that, I believe. So I would rate this one 10 out of 10. I love
Yeah,
the
it's really good
I
episode.
I love the action scenes for it. I love the fight scenes with Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange. I love I love the many deaths of Christine, no matter what she did. Left alone, bombed, pizza, killed with a gun, and then it's just
Heart attack.
it's just heart attack out of nowhere. Drives, gets hit, takes a different route. No matter what happens, that's what happened. It was so funny to me, but it's very sad that
Yeah.
that Doctor Strange could never accept that, so he lost his heart instead of his hands, and everything happened. Even pleading with the Watcher, trying to save his world, no matter what happened, it ended in failure. So I would say 10 out of 10 for this episode, honestly.
Yeah. Good
Uh,
story. I do like the new design he has. Pretty evil, dark looking.
I really liked it. I like the design a lot. I thought I wasn't gonna like it after seeing figures of it, but no, it looks pretty decent. I like it really, really a lot.
Yeah.
So, going on to the next fifth episode, my favorite episode, because my name's King of Zombies. You know this for a fact, and I love zombies. I love Marvel zombies. We get What If Zombies. God, I
This is
love
my
this.
favorite one too.
I love this episode. It equals on par with Doctor Strange. So, it starts with Bruce Hulk landing after Infinity War into the same location. He hits Doctor Strange's home, but instead of anyone seeing him there, like Doctor Strange, Wong, he's just left by himself. And the Cape of Levitation tells him, you know, here are some clothes, because he doesn't have clothes at this point. And we get the same scene over again where he's like, what is it called, Ebony Maw and Cordis Clave, I believe, the big guy,
Yes.
land, and Bruce Banner's telling Hulk to come out so he can fight. Hulk says no. He says, "What do you mean no?" And then Ebony Maw says, "You're about to die at the hands of the children of," and a teleporting a portal opens up behind him. One of Strange's portals open up behind him, and Iron Man's hand sticks out, and Ebony Maw gets clapped. He's gone, headshot with a repulsor blaster, and you see Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong pop out, but they look a little bit weird. They're coated in darkness, and he says, "Tony, boys, you guys are screwed now." Ebony says, "Huh?" Portals open up, and they start fighting them, but a bunch of smoke covers up the fight scene. um, Bruce says, "Yeah, Iron Man, go," and eventually, you hear the munching of flesh, and he says, "What are you guys doing?" You see, Cordis Clave's hand stick out and fall, and he's like, "That's kind of overkill, you guys. Don't you guys think that?" Tony breathing heavily, and we see the first look of Iron Man zombie. God,
Yeah.
oh, I love the way he looks. Bruce is like, whoa, that's We see Doctor Strange, and we see Wong biting Corvus Clay's flesh off. I love how Doctor Strange doesn't have his cape, but he still has the Eye of Agamotto, meaning that they never succeeded in getting, because they died. Ebony Maw and everyone else becomes a zombie. The clove, not the clove, the cape of levitation, right? That's what it's
There we go.
pronounced. The cape of
Yeah, the king.
levitation takes Tony, throws him around, throws him. Everyone's about to, Bruce is running away as fast as he can. Wong tries to capture him through another portal, but is stopped by the cape of levitation again, and is cut in half by the head. A callback to when Wong did it to the Covis. You know who I'm talking. Big guy's hand. Okay, I
Yeah,
can't
Club
pronounce
Obsidian.
names. Yeah, so that happens, and a bunch of ants come out of nowhere. Iron Man dies for the second time, and we find out it is the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, and we get this version of Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Remember, Sony has the rights to the MCU Spider-Man, so they made his costume very different and everything. And he said, "Hello,
Yeah.
I'm your neighborhood friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." And he says, "Oh yeah, well then what the hell happened to the neighborhood?" And the Watcher explains that in this timeline, Hope mainly caused it. 2 weeks earlier, Dr. Hank Pym journeyed into the quantum realm to find his lost wife because they were getting signals of it. But in this universe, Janet Van Dyne contracted a quantum virus that corrupted her brain, leading to the zombie outbreak. So everything happens the same. They come out and they're like, Hope Van Dyne's like, "Oh, mother, father," but we find out that she's infected entirely. And Ant Man is the first to go in this reality. Well, technically Hank Pym, but I want to count Ant Man first because he's more of a hero. You know what I mean? So Hank,
Yeah, he's,
uh,
he's like Subject Zero,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. So the first one to officially go is Ant Man himself. The Avengers are settled in. Black Panther joins them, so the lineup is Hawkeye, Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man, and Black Panther. They land in the middle of a fucking bridge. I don't know how. Like, couldn't he thought of something better? Honestly,
Well, they're trying to contain the zombies from escaping from New York to the rest of the world.
still, but like there could have
But
been a better plan. Like literally half their skin is showing. Like the only two that I believe that could have lived is Iron Man and um T'Challa.
and T'Challa,
Yeah,
because his
because
armor
his,
is
his
unbreakable.
armor is fully unbreakable. Iron Man, I can see Iron Man over time not lasting if too many zombies are around him because his is
It
nanotech,
happened.
which is nanotech technology. So may eventually maybe a couple zombies ripped his helmet off. Cap is
Yeah,
the
and
first.
Steve got bit in the neck.
Yeah, Steve been in the neck. Uh, Black Widow and Black Widow and Hawkeye. They get capped. They get outnumbered hard. Um,
Yeah.
which is really bad. So we get a little video thing like Peter did in Homecoming. And he titles it the let me see. He titles it. Let me see. So you want to survive the zombie apocalypse, right? So he goes over his steps of how
Yeah.
these zombies work. They mostly can smell, and by biting you, they can spread the infection. So Happy Hogan, well, no longer Happy Hogan, um, is the demonstration dummy for this today. He's wearing a shirt that I'm not single. I'm not single. I'm saving myself for Thor. This is at the time period where Infinity War is happening. Everyone, just so you know. Um, his skills are driving, coffee, and boxing, referring to his past when he was a good boxer. And step one, long sleeves are always good for protection. His weapon of choice is the Iron Man watch gauntlet thing that he used in Civil War against Bucky Barnes for that short period of time before he got his shit
Yeah.
absolute rocked. Now, anyways, So and we also meet one of Ant Man's friends, Court, Court. How do you pronounce his name?
I think it's Crew.
Groot, the one that that's like Baba, what's it called? Baba Goof,
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. That guy. His special skills are language, only language. That is the only special skill, along with Salvic folklores and crime, but like I think language is like his main skill. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're demonstrating that the zombie virus can only be passed through the saliva. So less skin you're showing, the better. And then they're saying, the most vulnerable you can be is in your birthday suit. So they go and attack Bucky Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, in the nude. And God, look at him. Jesus is literally animated, surrounded by Captain America. You know, propaganda technically. Sharon Carter's Captain America. They go in and sneak attack him, and Bucky Barnes, silent but deadly, skills murder, killer arm, heavy sleeper, referring to cryogenically him twice already, you know, referring to that.
Yeah.
Killer arm, I wonder what for, murderer, for his past murder, and then your robot arm is waterproof. How handy, pun intended. And then Bucky saying, I can just snap your neck, I can just squeeze you right here and you die, right?
Pretty damn dark.
Yeah, so staying hydrated is the best way. We meet Sharon Carter, the blonde Bond, spycraft first aid eulogies, referring to her eulogy for Peggy Carter. Um, at this point, I believe she isn't on the run any. She isn't the spoiler for anyone that hasn't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The power broker
Well,
at
because
this point.
Civil War didn't happen in this universe.
Oh
Or
yeah, Civil War never happened, so they were still together, I believed.
yeah, yeah, it doesn't
So
happen in this universe.
So she is still part of the U.S. government, so she never becomes power broker. I don't think power broker would matter in this universe because zombies. Uh, but
Yeah.
that's what happens. We meet her along with he tells him that shooting in the head is mainly the best way to kill them all. Peter's like, I'm showing the doctor the intro video to survive, and we meet Ikoya from Wakanda. Her reasoning being here from the Royal Guard for being here is that ever since T'Challa went missing, they sent her out along with some other people, but she's the last one standing to find T'Challa because she came with the Americans, so she wants to find the king as best as possible.
Yes.
And we find out that they're all hiding in a like a train cart system high in the air suspended by spider webs, which is really really cool in my case. Like that looks amazing, just like a bunch of webs in the city holding up these train carts together, and they're using an
Yeah.
Iron Man arm to find a beacon location that was sent out, and they received it, and it's all the way in, I believe, Fort what is it called? Looks familiar, Agent Carter. Camp Levi. Yeah, it's kind of like Camp Levi, kind of. I think it's Camp Levi itself.
Yeah.
Is it Camp Levi itself? Yeah, I'm watching. We gotta go to Jersey, so they go to the main train station. I forgot what it's called in New York, and Peter I think it's a Korea that says we need to split up. I believe we're split. Yeah, Korea says we're splitting up, and Peter being Peter, he says, haven't you guys seen movies? This is a bad idea, and Korea says no, we don't have movies. We have American dramas, American reality shows that poking fun that American reality shows are stupid. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Oh, I have food now, but so we figured that out. We watched this scene. They're trying to turn on the what is it called? Crap. It's called the
The
train,
trade system.
but the train doesn't have enough power. It needs a push. So I'm watching it right now. So Peter says, "Okay, let me have an idea. Let me do what I can do." And that's what happens. Sorry for the noise background for a little bit. I gotta turn on the AC. So if it does pick up, I'm so sorry. But we start seeing the other Avengers, Falcon and Falcon kill goes trying to kill Okoye in Winter Soldier. I love how Winter Soldier uses Bucky uses his arm mostly his metal arm to
Yeah.
prevent the biting. And Ikoya cuts him in half, and Bucky Barnes being is like, I should feel bad for him, but at the same time I don't because I didn't know him that well.
Yeah, I guess
And
so. They didn't know each other very well.
then Happy Hogan going blam 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 every time he fires the arm. Love that part. And he's like, it's just a couple birds, and then he gets fucking shot with an arrow and dragged off while saying
Yeah.
blam. And he looks back and he's blamming into the void of the unknown. Sadly, we find out that he does become infected, and we find out Hawkeye is there, shooting what is it called, uh, Agent Carter into the wall, and sticking her there with an arrow, and we see Zombie Hogan coming out and saying "blam," but like a zombie, which is also funny. Um, Spider-Man pulling as much weight as possible to make the train go as fast as possible. Um, what else? What else? What else? Zombies are behind Peter. The capable levitation saves Peter, and they say activated, and it goes off like a bullet train because it was so much power in it.
Yeah.
So the train goes off. They're on their way. Um, this is onto Camp Levi at this point. Nothing bad happened except I believe
Captain America gets on board.
I think that's towards later. Yeah, no, that's later into the episode.
Oh, okay.
So it's when they go into a second tunnel where they find out Captain Zombie um, got on board and he kills Captain Carter. Captain Carter. Sharon Carter. Bucky saying, I think you had enough, Cap." And then Zombie Cap. The bloody shield. Oh, everything looks so nice with him.
Yeah.
I just love the way he looks. In like best, I would say he has the best zombie model out of all of them.
It doesn't look good.
Sharon Carter starts twitching because she's already been infected, and then Bucky shoots at Cap. Cap still remembers how to use his shield and everything. They start fighting. Tries to bite him again. Goes for the metal arm. Sharon tries to bite Bucky, but he gets thrown aside. And Hope almost gets eaten, but shrinks into the size to fit into her mouth, Sharon's mouth. And Cap throws the shield, surprisingly still having enough strength to throw with his arms. You know, after being
Yeah.
infected. Bucky does what Bucky does best, catches the shield and throws it back, cutting Steve in half. And my favorite line out of all of this is, "Sorry, pal, I guess this is the end of the line," referring to
Yeah.
their famous quotes multiple times in Winter Soldier and in Captain America, the First Avenger, is I'll stick with you to the end of the line," which in this case, I don't think Steve can make it to the end of the line.
Yeah.
So Hope explodes Sharon like the way we all theorized Ant-Man was gonna do it to Thanos, going up the butt and just expanding.
Never happened.
Shush, there's a What If series episode, I can see it.
So, shut up.
So she has Sharon guts all over her. The kid has hand sanitizer, and she says that's the most disgusting thing. But they find out that you know, Hope was cut during it, and since you know saliva and everything's all over her, um, she's been infected. She's getting all the symptoms. You say it.
Symptoms.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right.
So, um, we have this very emotional scene and our first call to Ben, Uncle Ben,
Uncle Ben.
which is very amazing. Um, which is like really, really amazing. Where he's like, "Hope is the best thing to keep everyone else alive, and it's also your name." And then Hope saying, "Oh, kid, how do you do it?" Um, See all these movies, AV Club. He's like, Hope says, "No, stay so, you know, positive, upbeat, have hope." Even after everything, after losing so many people, and this is the call sign practice, I guess. And then my mom, dad, Uncle Ben, Mr. Stark, our first callback to Uncle Ben
Now happy.
since no happy no. Remember, he wasn't
Oh,
happy
come on.
Hogan. He wasn't happy Hogan.
Yeah,
He,
no.
he was just happy.
Yeah.
I mean, not happy.
Uh,
But he does mention happy too. But he tells him that no matter what, we must always be upbeat, keep a smile on our face. And they get to Camp Levi, but they find out there's a whole bunch of zombies there blocking the path. So Hope, who's already infected, sacrifices herself and becomes Giant Wasp. The first time we ever see her go giant, and
yeah.
uh, leaves everyone to Camp Levi, puts them over the what's it called, the oh god, the gate, and as she's being swarmed, surrounded by zombies, she says, "Peter, smile, smile for me, okay?" And she falls and collapses, which is really sad. I find it like this episode made me really, really sad because these are characters we grew up with, and we just seen them get picked off one by one makes me sad.
Yeah.
So Hope ends up dying. They wonder why the zombies aren't climbing the fence or not doing anything. People were saying one of the zombies that try to go through it looks like Stan Lee, and one of them looks like Deadpool. So that might be a callback. I don't know. And they're Krug, whatever his name is that this is the Baba Yaga, and this is a burial ground. Referring to what's gonna happen in a couple minutes. We find out the beacon was sent out by Vision himself, being alive since he is an android and has no human flesh whatsoever. So,
Yeah.
and since he's using the Mind Stone, he's able to keep everyone at bay. We found out with the Mind Stone and the right equipment and everything, he's able to transform everyone transform Scott into human again. So, um, which
But
is
there's a
funny,
catch.
but there is a catch. You know, there's a huge catch deep, deep in the basement. You know, oh, what's your catch? Or am I hinting at it?
Well, we're hinting at it.
No, okay, making sure. Gotta be on the same page. Sergeant Barnes
Alright.
goes scout the area just to make sure. Vision says you're not gonna like what you find, and they run into a room with a bunch of clothes and a bunch of things. And this is where we find
We
uh
saw. Yep.
the Scarlet Witch as a zombie.
Yeah.
Amazing, God, she looks amazing. And then we hear the famous voice of T'Challa. T'Challa alive, and he has become a T'Challa Twinkie. If you get that reference, I love you.
He lost a leg.
He's so this is a callback into the comics where T'Challa, um, or Giant Man actually was feeding on T'Challa slowly because in that universe it's called the Hunger, and as long as they ate a small portion of it, they can think right, and the hunger won't take over, making them want to kill and eat more. So Ant-Man was
Yeah.
slowly eating T'Challa, and Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, finds out the original Wasp finds out this, and to make sure that she doesn't kill T'Challa and fully convert him, Ant-Man kills the Wasp in that world. So, but yeah, T'Challa's become a T'Challa Twinkie, but he still has his armor
Yeah.
on. So, uh, they keep going. They find out that they get mad at Vision. He says, "I can't, no, I cannot lose her. This is for the better of everyone. This is better for humanity." And we get this very nice horror scene with the Scarlet Witch and Zook, I believe his name is Zuck. I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me. Gets dragged off and killed by the Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
which is sad. But the Cape of Levitation saves Scott from falling to his doom. Everyone's trying to stop zombie version of Scarlet Witch, but it doesn't work. Vision can't come to terms with preventing it because he himself doesn't understand, but he knows it's for love because Scott makes a joke to Harry Potter, Wingardium Leviosa.
Don't lose a head over those jokes.
What happened?
Don't lose a head over the
Oh,
jokes.
I fucking hate you. I understood your pun. Give me your mic. You don't deserve your mic anymore. Give it to me. Just give it to me. But yeah. So Ikoria gets trapped by Scarlet Witch, and I loved it. I love this part. She's like, "My king, Wakanda forever," and just gets dragged to death.
Yeah, just
and,
drags,
and
just
Vision,
drag deleted.
Vision closes the thing. Shutting it down and everything, preventing her. There's a Quinjet in a hangar. Vision points out, and Bruce says, "Are you not gonna come?" He's like, "I must atone for what I've done, and I cannot bear to leave her alone like this."
Yeah,
So in this is like the third time Vision F kills himself again. He rips out his
yeah,
own. He rips out the Mind Stone again. Goes Gray Vision again. Scarlet Zombie version is like, damn, you did this. So they're running. Bucky sacrifices himself. He goes on hand combat, and he gets yeeted. Is he
yeah.
alive?
Just
We don't
split,
know.
just split across. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe the shield or his arm broke his fall.
Maybe. We don't know. All I know is he got yeeted. The
We don't know.
bullets didn't kill Wanda.
Yeah,
So as they're going, Bruce Banner, I don't remember his skin being that strong as Hulk, because I remember in the comics, wasn't he?
well,
Wasn't
the
he?
Hulk is protecting Bruce Banner.
Well, no, I know that, but
Oh,
in the comics, isn't Hulk able to become infected even being in Hulk form? In
yes, he can.
so I think in the MCU, I think they just say his skin is so strong that it can't. So
That can't be bitten.
so that's weird. So the only way they escape, um, Bruce Banner says, I'm gonna stay here, and then he's like, Peter's like, I don't think I can lose another friend today, and then because in this universe he would never become an Avenger by Tony Stark being knighted as an Avenger, so Bruce
Yeah,
does it, and he says, so Avengers, the common phrase, even in the Black Widow episode, he says, you're literally that's your guys' name, the Avengers. One of you dies or one of you gets badly beaten, one of the other ones will avenge you.
yes,
So I love that. I love how Bruce says it. So avenge us, and I love that line. He gives him the Mind Stone, and he goes off and fights the whole uh, you know, zombie team out there, and fights Wanda hand on hand combat. I would have loved to see that fight. They try to escape. Then we see zombie Hope tries to stop them. They escape. Scott finds out that Hope dies. Very devastating.
yeah.
Hope throws a zombie at them, hoping to stop them, but nothing
Didn't
happens.
work.
Doesn't happen. They're on their way to Wakanda because Wakanda is the highest tech place that they have known at the
Yeah,
time.
and the safest city.
Yeah, since they have the
So
shield.
yeah,
All right. I'm just watching it right now, and then we get a nice peaceful line from um, T'Challa. He says, "Last year, Mr. Stark was my mentor. I turned him down not to become an Avenger, and now this is happening. No Avengers are here. The world is gone." And Chadwick Boseman gives a very, very nice line of, "In my culture, death is not the end," which it's a soft tone towards Chadwick Boseman himself. He might be gone, but
yeah.
he lives on
That line
forever.
holds up a lot of weight now.
They are still with us, and as long as we do not forget about them, they live on, no matter what. So and then Scott is an Avenger at this point. So, but Peter doesn't know that because at this point he hasn't worked with them yet. So he's like,
Yeah, no.
oh, he's like, yeah, don't worry. And they're like, we could save the world now with this, and they fly out to Wakanda. And he's like, even in the most darkest time, the Watcher, even the most darkest times, humans will always try to save the planet and give it their all, no matter what. And the big twist at the end, um, zombie Thanos is
Yeah,
a
and he has
thing.
all the
He
stones.
has all the stones, so he's only missing. So I'm guessing he he grabbed Time Stone from Doctor Strange's dead body.
Yeah,
Soul
but
Stone, meaning he did sacrifice Gamora in this timeline then before he got
yeah,
infected. I want to say.
Yeah.
Reality Stone and Power Stone, he already had those beforehand.
Yeah. So you just only need to get time in mind from Earth.
Yeah. So that's the end of that episode. Um, we are running at 1 hour and 39 minutes. Do you want to end it here and talk about the rest later, or you want to keep going?
Ooh.
Because next episode would be what if? Well, what is it? One, two, three, four, five. We covered five today. One, two, three. We can cover. Uh,
Yeah. We can do that.
we covered the next four. So next four we would cover our episode 6, 7, 8, and 9. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? Episode 7. What if Thor was an only child? What if Ultron had won for episode 8 and episode 9, the season finale? What if the Watcher broke his oath? So we will talk about those later. Maybe next episode. We'll call it What If Recap Episode 2, maybe. Um, but
Yeah.
let's do the little thing you wanted to do, the villains versus villains, and so we can wrap up everything up and call it a
Yeah.
day.
So pick a number between 1 through 38. Pick
Uh,
two numbers.
I'm gonna take 25 and I'm gonna take 15.
25 and 15.
Yes, sir. Also, before we get into this, would you like to explain the rules of this, just in case, for
Oh yeah,
the
so
viewers?
villains versus villains is we pick two villains and they face off each other in the MCU. So Cull Obsidian versus Caecilius.
Ooh. Who
Do you
would?
remember those characters?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm be honest, I think Caecilius would win this fight.
I want to say Kai as well. Because isn't
Yeah,
he?
because he has magic.
Yeah, he has
And
more magic, and Caecilius doesn't have magic. No. What is Caecilius good at again? Just fighting hand to hand, right?
Fighting hand to hand, he has magic. Cull Obsidian is just a big guy who just has. I mean, we saw him in Avengers got
Well,
twice.
because okay, so because he's a big guy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But I think that's all he has to him. It's just strength, overall strength.
yeah.
Nah, no, I want to give it to Cole.
So I
No.
guess you think it's a Caecilius.
Yes, I want to say Caecilius since he's more magic based and has more power.
All right, yeah. I think I'm about to give the Caecilius too.
All
All
right,
right, so Caecilius is the victor. Ring the bell. Ding.
ding. So we'll try to do more of
All
that.
right,
What else?
yeah. Also, hero versus hero.
All right, let's do. You gotta do number. We're just saying random heroes.
Two numbers, two random numbers, 1 through 41.
All right, give me 32. Back. I'm sorry, we took a small break. We're back with hero versus hero and heroes versus villain. Uh, Soul Saber.
So I fucked up. 25 is proxy of midnight. I counted a number ahead.
Proximate.
So I think
Oh
we're at the.
shit. All right.
So
Okay.
Caecilius versus proxy of midnight.
Oh. Ooh, that is okay. Now proximate
This is a
midnight
hard one.
because she is good with hand-to-hand combat, especially with her staff.
Yeah, and Caecilius, all he has is just magic and hand-to-hand combat.
Well, he's not much more hand-to-hand combat. He's more
Or not
magic
that,
based.
more magic base.
Who would win that fight now? I would.
Oh.
I want to give it to Proxima Midnight. She can probably outdo him by just being faster and just hitting him harder.
Yeah, and she is the daughter of Thanos, so.
True.
Or one of the daughters of Thanos, so I think
One
she
of the
definitely
many.
did have trait. Yeah.
Unless
So I think
Caecilius can like really trap her in the magic and like, you know, because well Caecilius, he can pull from the dark dimension, correct?
yeah, from the dark dimension.
Oh, that's so. But okay, because no, he doesn't really use weapons. He just channels more dark energy. Actually,
Yes.
no, I want to give it to Caecilius because he could put her in dimension not dimensions but like the crystal pocket dimension things that they do,
Yeah.
and just
The
probably
glass
just
dimension.
out the glass dimension and probably just outdo her with a lot of magic spells.
Yeah.
Ooh. But he was defeated by Doctors. Damn, now I gotta think about this. Because Caecilius was at his full potential. and caused a lot of destruction with Dormammu. But that's because he was
Yeah.
with Dormammu. Are we gonna let him be with
Yes.
Dormammu or no for this fight?
No Dormammu. Dormammu's not on this
So it's
list.
just him and his dark. So him channeling power from the dark dimension.
Yeah.
Dang, I want to give it to. No, I think Proxima Midnight would beat him. I want to give
Yeah,
it to.
I think so too. I think she would win this fight.
All right, comments down below. Who do you think would win versus villain? Caecilius from Doctor Strange or Proxima Midnight from the daughter of being one of the children of Thanos? Comment down
Yeah,
below.
we should definitely make a poll of just make a poll on Twitter to see who would win that fight.
I wonder. Anyways, on to hero versus hero. I said number 32.
32.
And let's go
And what's
with
your second number?
number 12.
Okay. Oh, it's U.S. Agent versus Ultron. Oh no, sorry, wrong one.
I was about to say, I was like, oh, that's a cat. That's not a hero. When did Ultron become?
U.S. Agent. Sorry, U.S. Agent versus U.S. Agent versus Falcon.
Oh, we already know who won that.
Okay,
Okay.
but this is like one
Okay.
potential fight. No help from Bucky.
No help from Bucky.
Yeah.
Okay. What version of U.S. Agent are you messing with? Are you messing with crazy deranged U.S. Agent after the murder, or like when he's calm and collected U.S. Agent?
Oh, I didn't think about that. I did not think about which version we're gonna pick from.
Or like, are we just gonna
I'm
like which like when he's okay? Because like there's literally when he's like broken down U.S. agent, that's when he's like snapping and everything, and then when he's just
yeah.
becomes the U.S. agent when he's officially U.S. agent. So which one are we talking about?
I guess yeah. It's just be the one after the show where he becomes U.S. Agent, which he
Okay,
still has Super Soldier 4 for
yes,
formula.
but he doesn't have a shield at this point.
No.
Okay, and which? Okay, so which Falcon is this one? Is it Captain America Falcon or Falcon just Falcon?
Falcon. Because Captain America Falcon is on here too.
All right, shit, I will give it to U.S. agent easily. He will clap Falcon because
Oh no, wait,
if
sorry, my headphones are going out of whack right now.
no, it's fine, it's fine.
So yeah, U.S. Agent versus Falcon.
And this is Falcon, and this is U.S. Agent at the ending
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, if you want to call it that now, since they retitled it at the
Yeah,
end. But
because Captain America Falcon's on that list, but you didn't pick it.
I would say U.S. Agent hands down.
Okay.
Because if it's Falcon, he and it's by himself, he easily could have got his ass clapped.
Yeah, which he did kind of.
Technically, he did. I honestly would believe that U.S. Agent can clap his cheeks hard. Honestly,
Yeah.
especially if he's calm and collected and tactically thinking like he can, he could probably mess up Sam Wilson really hard. Even without
Yeah.
the shield, his pure strength alone, ripping the wings off and just beating Falcon, I believe he can almost kill the man if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But Falcon, he has the air advantage, so maybe he can use that to his best advantage, maybe.
Right.
But I would give it to U.S. Agent. And viewer, comment down below who do you think would win the hero versus hero? Would it be Agent U.S. Agent John Walker? Would it be Falcon as Falcon Sam Wilson? Who do you
Yeah.
believe? I would give it to U.S. Agent.
I would also get the U.S. Agent too.
So what else is there?
And for our last category is Marvel News, picking number 1 through 9.
Marvel News. All right, give me number 5.
Okay, number 5. Sinister Six movie.
Ooh, and there's a sick movie. Oh, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So we got reports that Sony would be trying again with the Sinister Six movie again, but in the multiverse if No Way Home is a multiverse movie, which at this point I think it
I
is.
think it is. If they do that, I would love to see that different versions of just like different villains across the multiverse. Two Green
Yeah,
Goblins, two Doctor Octopus. Maybe they could finally finish the Andrew Garfield series. Maybe finally.
right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
which we were supposed to get that Sinister Six movie, but it never happened.
which is sad.
Yeah.
But well, that's the news. Anything else for that news?
No, that's all our categories for we did villain versus villain, hero versus hero, and the Marvel news.
All right, I think that's it for today's episode. This was a very long episode, clocking in at
Yep.
almost 2 hours, folks.
Yeah.
Um, um, but yeah, I'm King of Zombies 20,
I've been Soul Super 123.
and thank you for watching the newest episode of the web, titled Episode 2. What if recap tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow, next week. It just depends when we can record. We will be recording the next episode of What If Recap Part 2. Please stay tuned. Please subscribe. Click the like notification. You know all that sweet jazz. Do follow me on Twitch at King of Zombies 20. That will be my all my hashtags on everything. Follow the web on Twitter. We usually tweet out when we're watching the newest movies, newest things, you know, talking about that, retweeting the best things from Marvel if any news comes out from there. Follow Soul
Yeah.
Saver on his platforms, on his Instagram, his Twitch, along with everything. You got any last words to say before we officially sign off for today's episode?
Yeah. No, other than you'll follow our Twitch and our Twitters and Insta.
All right,
And as I like to say, it's time to web out.
I really hate you for that, but yes, we're webbing out, folks. And remember, all links will be in the description below. Leave a comment, follow us, and we will kiss you good night. We're webbing out, baby. Bye.
Bye.